If you're terrified of the who pays me conversation with buyers, you're not alone. But here's what nobody's telling you. 70 to 90% of sellers are still paying a buyer agent compensation. The agents losing sleep over this, they're solving the wrong problems. I'm Emily Shelton with Shelton Property Group, and I've been a top producer for over 10 years. I've seen many different markets. Adaptability and not getting too comfortable is key. Right now, agents who can't adapt to this commission conversation are either working for free or going out of business. In this video, I'm breaking down the exact buyer agency script that I use in 2026 that gets me paid, even when the seller says no to compensation. You're getting the framework, the language, and the mindset shift that simplifies this conversation instead of making it awkward. Because if you can't articulate your value to a buyer, you've got a much bigger problem than a commission structure. But first, let's talk about why agents are panicking over a problem that barely exists. Here's what happens. Ever since the NAR settlement, agents have been in full panic mode about buyer agency compensation. They're convinced that every listing is going to offer zero compensation and the buyers are going to refuse to pay them. But here's the data. NAR stats show that 70-90% of sellers are still offering buyer agent compensation to some degree. So why are agents still terrified? Because they've never had to sell value before. For years, compensation was baked into the listing agreement. Buyers didn't see it, they didn't question it, and the agents never had to defend it. Now buyers are asking questions, and agents who can't answer confidently are either slashing the fees or working for free. Here's the truth. If you can't articulate why a buyer should pay you for your service, you don't have a commission problem. You have a value problem. I've had this conversation with over 50 buyers, and not once have I had a buyer refuse to work with me because of my fee, because I'm crystal clear on what they are paying for. Keep watching because I'm about to walk you through the full buyer consultation script, word for word, including how to handle what the seller should pay objection. This is the part most agents completely fail. Step 1. Set expectations early. In my initial buyer consultation, I address compensation up front. I say, here's how the buyer agent compensation works in 2026. Most sellers are still offering a full compensation to a buyer's agent. When that's the case, you're not paying me out of pocket. But occasionally, we will find a property where the seller offers a reduced compensation or not at all. When that happens, we have options. We can negotiate with a seller to adjust the price, or you can pay the difference. But here's what I want you to know. My fee is what it is, and that doesn't change based on what the seller offers. My value to you is consistent, regardless of who writes the check. Notice what I did here. I framed this as normal. I'm not apologizing. I'm not asking for permission. I'm not explaining how it works. Step 2, articulate your value. Make it crystal clear. I walk buyers through what they're actually paying for. Here's what my fee gets you. I'm negotiating on your behalf, not just on price, but on inspection repairs, appraisal gaps, seller concessions, and timelines. I'm protecting you from buying a home with hidden issues because I know what to look for and I know what questions to ask. I'm coordinating your lender, your inspector, the title company, and making sure this transaction closes on time without surprises. And I'm available to you throughout the entire process. This is where most agents fail. They assume buyers understand what you do. They don't. You need to spell it out. Step number 3, handle but the seller should pay you objection early. When buyers push back and say, but shouldn't the seller pay you? I say, in most cases, the seller is offering compensation and you won't pay me out of pocket. But here's the thing. Whether the seller pays me or you pay me, it's your transaction. I work for you. My job is to protect you and your interest and negotiate the best deal for you and make sure you don't overpay or buy a problem property. This is my fee, regardless of where the money comes from. That reframe is everything. It shifts the focus from who pays to who I work for. Step 4, the line that ends the conversation. After I've explained my value and addressed their concerns, I close with this. If you're looking for the cheapest agent, I'm not your person. But if you're looking for an agent who will protect your investment, negotiate fiercely on your behalf, and make sure you don't make a $50,000 mistake, I'm exactly who you need. My fee is 3%, and I'm worth every penny of it. Then I stop talking. I let them sit with that. And you know what happens? 99% of the time they say, okay, that makes sense. Let's move forward. Because buyers don't want cheap. They want competent. They want someone who knows what they're doing and will fight for them. The agents who are struggling with this conversation, they don't believe in their own value. And if you don't believe in your worth or your compensation, your buyers won't either. Step 5, put it in writing. Use a buyer representation agreement. Get this in writing. Using a buyer representation agreement that clearly states your compensation, how it's paid, and what happens if the seller doesn't offer enough. Don't wait until you're writing the offer. Lock this in at the beginning. It protects you and them. And here's the bottom line. The commission conversation isn't the problem. Your inability to articulate your value is the problem. 70-90% of sellers are still offering compensation. But even when they don't, if you can't confidently explain why you're worth your fee, you'll work for scraps. What you really need is mentorship from someone who's been there, accountability to keep you on track, and proven systems that work. If you want my full buyer representation agreement template and a complete consultation script, comment commission below, and I'll send it to you. And if you're an experienced agent who is struggling with buyer's agency in this market and you want mentorship that actually moves the needle, book a 20-minute call. The link is in the description. I'm Emily Shelton with Shelton Property Group, where we are faith, family, real estate. I'll see you on the next one.